I always thought that Emily and I had a perfect life, or at least a life that most people would envy. We had a house in a quiet neighborhood, 2 kids who were thriving, and what appeared to be a strong, loving marriage. On the surface, everything seemed normal. But the truth is, appearances can be deceiving, and sometimes the smallest things hide the largest secrets. It began innocuously. Emily had always been meticulous about her purse, a large, stylish handbag that she carried everywhere. I never paid it much attention, assuming it contained the usual: wallet, phone, keys, and a few cosmetic items. But one evening, while tidying up the kitchen, I noticed the purse left open on the counter. Something caught my eye, a small plain envelope peeking out beneath her wallet. I paused. Normally, I would never touch her personal belongings. I respected her privacy. But that day, a strange impulse overcame me. I picked up the envelope. It was unmarked, nothing to indicate its contents. I hesitated for a moment, then carefully opened it. Inside were photographs. Not casual snapshots, not family pictures, but photos of Emily with another man. Intimate photos, flirtatious touches, laughter captured in a way that seemed deliberate, private, and forbidden. I felt my stomach drop. I couldn't breathe. My mind raced. Why would she leave these here? Was it carelessness? Or arrogance? Or did she simply think I would never find out? The betrayal was immediate, visceral, and incomprehensible. I couldn't process it all at once. I stared at the photos for what felt like hours, analyzing every detail: the man's face, his posture, the way Emily leaned into him. There was no ambiguity here. This wasn't friendship. This wasn't a harmless flirtation. This was cheating, brazen, and undeniable. I tried to remember every recent moment for clues. Had there been subtle hints I ignored? The nights she claimed to be working late? The times she seemed distracted, distant, or unusually cheerful after returning home? It all suddenly made sense. The small signs I had brushed off, now revealing the truth in stark detail. For the next few days, I observed Emily more closely, but cautiously. I wanted to be sure to confirm my suspicions before confronting her. I checked her routines, monitored subtle interactions, and found evidence of meetings I had never known about. The betrayal was deeper than I had imagined. Every encounter, every text, every secretive conversation pointed to the same conclusion: Emily had been unfaithful. When I finally confronted her, the moment was surreal. I placed the photographs on the table one by one and watched as her calm, confident demeanor dissolved. Her eyes widened. Her lips quivered. She stammered, searching for words. I can explain, she said, but her voice carried no authority, no conviction. I didn't want excuses. I didn't want lies. I wanted honesty, something I realized I might never get. The conversation spiraled, filled with anger, disbelief, and tears. She tried to rationalize, claiming loneliness, excitement, and emotional distance. But none of that mattered. The photographs were indisputable evidence. The betrayal was tangible. The trust we had built over years was fractured irreparably. In the aftermath, the consequences unfolded like a slow, relentless storm. I withdrew emotionally, speaking to friends and family about what I had discovered. I sought advice, considered the legal and personal ramifications, and began the painful process of reevaluating my marriage. Every interaction with Emily became tense, every conversation layered with suspicion and resentment. I realized that the smallest things often carry the most revealing truths. A simple purse, an overlooked envelope, a moment of curiosity, these ordinary objects became the key to uncovering a massive, life-altering betrayal. The revelation reshaped our home, our routines, and our relationships. I could no longer take anything at face value. Over the next several months, Emily and I attempted counseling. We tried to address the betrayal, the dishonesty, and the fractured trust. Progress was slow. Trust, once broken in such an intimate and personal way, is nearly impossible to restore completely. Even as we talked, negotiated, and attempted reconciliation, the memory of the photographs, the evidence of her deceit, lingered in my mind. The emotional toll was immense. Nights spent awake, replaying conversations, moments of doubt, and instances of her subtle lies. Days filled with tension, avoidance, and silent resentment. Friends and family could sense the change. Even minor interactions were tinged with the weight of what had happened. The betrayal had not only affected our marriage, but also the larger ecosystem of relationships surrounding us. I also learned the unpredictability of human behavior. Emily, who once seemed devoted and trustworthy, was capable of deception so audacious that it shook the foundation of my life. And I realized that in any relationship, vigilance, intuition, and honesty are essential. Secrets, even small ones, have the power to destroy everything. Months turned into a year. Emily and I remain married, but the dynamic has irrevocably shifted. We communicate more carefully, share more openly, and navigate a fragile trust that must be rebuilt from the remnants of what was broken. The purse, the envelope, the photographs, they serve as a constant reminder of the fragility of relationships, the weight of betrayal, and the consequences of secrecy. The strangest part of all is how such a small object, a purse, could change everything. It forced me to confront not only Emily's actions, but also my own perceptions, my assumptions, and my understanding of trust. The discovery was accidental, yet its impact was profound, reshaping every aspect of my life. I have learned that betrayal can surface in the most mundane ways. It can hide in the smallest details, waiting for a moment of curiosity or chance to be exposed. And when it does, the consequences are unthinkable, irreversible, and life-altering. Finding something in my wife's purse uncovered her cheating in the strangest way, but it also revealed a truth I could no longer ignore. Trust is fragile, love is complicated, and some discoveries, however small, have the power to redefine your entire life.